All right, welcome back. The president heads to Detroit to get a look at electric cars. The administration pushing the country away from gas-powered vehicles. And Biden has certainly made them more expensive to drive. We can tell you that. Right now, the national average gas price is over $3 a gallon, the highest since the fall of 2014. It's back when Obama was in the White House. Last year, that average was $1.87. Look at the difference. Isn't that incredible? In an effort to protect Americans against these rising prices, New Mexico Congresswoman Yvette Herrell has introduced legislation to provide relief through a federal gas tax holiday. And she joins us now to talk about that. Congresswoman, welcome to you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So I love your idea, by the way. I spent a lot of money on gas. Your legislation, the Pump Act, you're calling it, will suspend the 18.3% federal excise, tax on gasoline until all COVID orders are lifted or 6 months after the date of enactment. Talking about this plan, explain exactly what you want to do here.
Yeah, I think it's important that we give the American taxpayer a break. I mean, most states are still locked down after the COVID pandemic that we suffered. And this is a great way to let consumers keep some money in their pocketbook. I mean, who wants to vote against somebody who can keep $5, $10, $15, $50 in their pocket and then reinvest that in their local economy, going to dinner, maybe going out to the movies? So I think this is a great idea. And I think the taxpayers deserve a break after all the money that Congress has been spending this last year. I
could not agree more on that. The cyber attack on the Colonial Pipeline seems to be fixing itself. It's getting, they've got it pumping again, which is good news. But it has only made this situation worse. But even when this is fixed, once we have gas back the way it was, you're still going to have higher prices. People need to remember that before the Colonial thing happened, prices were already shooting up pretty quick. And you think they're going to stay high under Biden's policies. Is that right?
I think they will. In fact, you're right. In fact, we saw petroleum prices jump up almost 49% in the month of April. Yeah. And it's not about supply. We've got supply, but the uncertainty of these Biden administration policies are so alarming that I believe people are going to wonder how long these prices will stay high. And this is, again, it's a holiday tax. It's only going to last 6 months. But in that 6 months, we can really, jumpstart the economy in our rural communities. And let's face it, a lot of the small communities, the ones that I represent, don't have access to public transit. So you still have first responders, school teachers, those that are performing public works still have to drive quite a ways, whether it's to work, the store, to check the mail. So this is a great way to let the consumer keep money in their pockets.
Sure is. It's not just gas prices. We're seeing the prices of everything going up right now. Lumber, wheat, corn, coffee, chicken, lots of things people use every day. What do you make of this? What's happening here?
What I see happening is these harmful policies since day one in office. Biden has, done the executive orders. We've seen policies being pushed through that are nothing but tax burdens on the American people. We've done very little to help the small business owner, the American worker. It's time that we get back to basics and jumpstart the economy the way we were doing it under the Trump administration, where we saw record unemployment rates. We saw, a booming economy, energy independence. And now we're looking at the uncertainty of what these policies are going to mean to America. Yep. And I think that's what's driving these costs, these rising costs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting when you analyze what exactly is going on. People putting money in commodities, stuff like that. Switching gears, last week, Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney was ousted from her leadership post. It was a big moment. Elise Stefanik voted in as her replacement. Did you take a side in this thing? And what are your thoughts on the future of the Republican Party?
I think it's important that we all get united. We've got big elections coming up in 2022, 2024. And if you'll remember some months back, there was a move to try to remove Liz Cheney from her leadership role. That didn't work. But apparently, things changed and leadership saw a difference and the people of the conference spoke. And so she was taken out of office, voted out of office.
And you want to share with us what side you might have taken on that?
Yeah, I was in favor of voting to remove her from office. Okay. I don't think she was representing the conference in a manner that was good, in my opinion. And so I was okay with voting to elect Elise Stefanik into office. And let's see where we go from here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you weren't alone. You were with the majority on that. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit about immigration. You're in New Mexico. Last month, your Democratic governor rejected your request to send the National Guard to the southern border. Didn't want them to go. Why did she reject that? And explain what you're seeing in your state right now.
Yeah, thank you for asking me about that. And I was very disappointed that she would not send our National Guard troops down to the border. We know that there is so much going on down there. It is a crisis, and I don't know why this administration will not admit that we have a problem. We're actually sending a letter to Vice President Harris asking her, again, to come down to New Mexico. And if she'd like, I'll travel abroad with her so we can have these discussions with the foreign countries that are not doing their part in keeping migrants from coming across into our border. But we've got to put a stop to this. It is impossible to see these numbers continue to rise and think that we're going to be able to sustain this without costing even more to the taxpayer. And now we're seeing them move people into the interior of the country, and we've got to stop this, secure our borders. It's national security, and there is so much going on in terms of drug cartels, you name it, property damage, COVID, everything. We've got to end it. It's simply common sense. It was working before, and why we changed it is beyond me.
Politics, that's why. It's plain and simple.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Congresswoman, thank you so much for the time. Good to see you from the great state of New Mexico.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.